everyone. Welcome to another edition of the PHNX D-backs podcast right here on PHNX. My name is Derek Montilla. Of course, I am your mayor of Salad and Go. This guy over here is my vice mayor of Salad and Go, the one and only Thunder Chicken Ranch Salad, Jesse Friedman.
Hey, now I get to be the mayor of Salad and Go, right?
No,
there's no way. How do you get to be the mayor and I'm the vice mayor?
No,
you're bad mouthing them yesterday and saying my takes are ridiculous about the best fast food joint in Arizona.
This show is brought to you by the fine folks at the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, use our code of PHNX, and get yourself all sorts of fun things that we'll talk about later. Of course, it's America's top-rated sportsbook app. Now, I want to talk to you guys. I'm not going to yell at Jesse. I might yell at you guys for enabling Jesse.
Isaiah's dad loves Salad and Go.
All right, here's the
Tyler
thing.
says you shouldn't yell at me.
No. There's no question. There was never a question about whether or not Salad and Go was a top shelf, top-notch fast food place. That's not in question. We can agree on that, as Jesse thinks he exposed in an old tweet of mine from
absolutely
2 months ago.
You're just like circling back now because you realize you tweeted this out like a month ago.
The question that we were asked yesterday was, which fast food place would we take Torey Lovullo to in order to impress him? And here are my reasons why this guy and all of you that have supported him are absolutely wrong. Torey Lovullo, he is the son of a man, Jesse, a man who produced and was the casting director for the iconic country sketch show Hee Haw. I don't know if you know that. That is dad.
Know that.
His dad. Well, yes. And so here's the thing. He even wrote a book about it. There's some country roots, even though he's Italian, right? Like those two things right there disqualify him immediately from ever even considering a salad to be a meal. But on top of that, Jesse Friedman, one time, Torey Lovullo ate a 30-year-old piece of bubble gum from 1991, a 30-year-old piece of bubble gum that he chewed and swallowed. Do you think that's the kind of man that's going to enjoy sitting in a 2008 RAV4 to eat a salad with this interior inside? Look at the interior of this car. You want to sit inside this car? We're going to sit inside of this car. We're going to sit and look at that. By the way, I want you all to notice that Jesse said he'd plug into the aux cord, thus admitting his car doesn't even have Bluetooth.
No,
what in the hell are we doing here? This is incredible to me that you would support him for the question. Here's the thing. Understand the assignment. I am not ever going to badmouth Salad and Go. And I feel like that is what you guys have pulled me into that. Their $9.99 deal where you can get breakfast and lunch with a drink is one of the best deals out there. And they don't even advertise with us. I'm just giving this information away for free. But here is the thing. That was not the question. The question is, where are you taking Torey Lovullo to impress him? And I am taking Torey Lovullo to some place where he can not only get himself a machaca burro, but he can follow it up with as many street tacos as he want after that. And there's a free bar where you can have his unlimited salsa, Jesse. My God, I can't believe I have to I didn't feel like I had to give an efficient explanation yesterday. But now I think from all of your responses, you've warranted this. So I hope you're happy. I guess
have you ever been inside of a Filiberto's, Derek?
Jesse, I go inside of Filiberto's all the time. I mean,
it's not the nicest interior.
Oh my
slander!
Are you just looking at the interior?
At least they have an interior,
right? Thank you.
My car's interior is way nicer than the interior. You're telling me that if you go inside of a Filiberto's and you sit down somewhere. Pull up the seats in my car again. Come on now.
This is preposterous.
These seats are way more comfortable.
Seriously looking at the interior again? See, I don't even know.
We are absolutely looking at the
time.
Yeah.
So this is the problem. Is now we're like, see, this is more time than I want to spend in your car. Is the point that I'm making here.
Well, you've never sat in my car, Derek, and now it may never happen. Because my car's interior is just at another level, Derek, and I don't know if you'll ever make it inside of there.
Do you know who I blame?
Who do you blame?
I blame the Dodgers.
That's fair.
For this rift between us.
That's
look
fair.
Look at how angry we are at each other. And this is all because the Dodgers have just made us so mad. It's Hell Week in LA. And Merrill Kelly still cannot figure out those damn Los Angeles Dodgers. Yesterday, he went 6 innings, 8 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, which wasn't bad. He also won me a lot of money. But More importantly, Merrill Kelly's still giving up a lot of runs, still winless in his career against the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Yeah, Merrill Kelly, I think in his career against the Dodgers has given up like 22 runs in 24 innings, something like that, I want to say. I think that's just this season, actually. Yeah. And so, yeah, I mean, if you take out all of his innings against the Dodgers and just like look at everything else he's done this year, he would have like a 2.38 ERA or something like that.
And it's not just this year; it's his entire career.
Yeah, no, Jesse. It is his entire career.
The 304 batting average, opponent batting average, the Dodgers have against him is the worst versus any team that he has with more than one start. I think he has like a one start against the Orioles where they have like a 533 batting average off of him, which is just sounds crazy, but. Also, 11 home runs allowed, most versus any opponent. As a matter of fact, he has one more home run allowed to the entire American League than he does to the Dodgers. 11 to the Dodgers, 12 to interleague play. So just has not had a lot of luck against the Dodgers. And I think last night, I don't know, I don't feel like we saw him get frustrated, but I think there was a look on his face that is almost perplexed as to what the hell are you going to do against this lineup, He said after the game, it was like, he made a reference to it being like a big brother, like that you just can't find a way to beat. That's a great reference. Which is a pretty, I hated one of my big brothers for that exact reason. What would your big brother just like beat you in all the time? Like what basketball. Was the thing? It was basketball. It was basketball in our front yard, and he would always, because he was taller than me and such, he would always, mercilessly swat the ball out of the air and dunk on me. And would he do this like when you were really little? Oh yeah. Okay. Like at an age where you were a criminal for doing it. You should be locked up for doing that to your younger brother of like 8 when you're 15. Scott, I'm talking to you. Don't think I'm not, but it's a very apt comparison. I had older siblings too. They did the same thing from time to time. So I've been there. That's what happens when you're the big brother. Anyway, that's why I dunk on Jesse. I try to. He got me yesterday though. But anyway, bringing in the car interior, I have to admit that was pretty funny. Truth be told, Derek asked me earlier today what the year of my RAV4 was, and I was like, why would he possibly want to know this information? I wanted it to be accurate to his actual interior. I knew it would be a mistake actually answering that question correctly. Whenever I ask you something mysterious, I should have said it was like the brand new 2022, like with the nice leather and everything. Yeah. That probably wouldn't have changed how you were going to use it anyway. No, because nobody wants to be in a RAV4. Kanye West wrote about it in the song. Meanwhile, Clayton Kershaw dominant against the Diamondbacks. Looked like his old self. He didn't have problems. Hitting double-digit strikeouts in 6 innings. And, again, it's just that same thing of, man, even when Clayton Kershaw isn't very good, he's still very good against the Diamondbacks. And Christian Walker was still also very good, pretty much one of the lone bright spots against L.A., but the Diamondbacks did not have an RBI by somebody with a hit. Their only RBI was by Geraldo Perdomo, who did not actually get a hit with his fielder's choice RBI. So, but he is the RISP king. He is the RISP king, yeah. There's no question about that. He's a known RISP king. Jordan Luplow, however, not a RISP king. Very much not even maybe a right fielder after some of the poorly played balls that we saw yesterday. That was a tough play yesterday. It was really close to being pretty impressive. I mean, he was like running backwards and he, flings his glove up into the air and happens to make the catch, and then as he's bringing it down, it just drops out of his mitt. So there's a fine line between making like a really impressive play and kind of looking like you just screwed up the entire inning. That's very true. That's very true. But I think what we've gotten used to very fast is the elite defense from the younger guys out there in the outfield. That immediately had me, and I'm sure a lot of you guys, screaming about why is he even out there? When it comes to defending, we've seen Varsho make some incredible plays out there in right field. We've seen all those guys. I mean, if Dalton Varsho is out there, Corbin Carroll's out there, if Jake McCarthy's out there, maybe they probably make that play. So there's something to be said for that. But again, I think like we've also said about Jordan Luplow and his audition for the rest of the season, Diamondbacks just still want to take another look at him. It's like the tale of two different players almost when it comes to Luplow in the minor leagues versus in the majors. It's incredible how much more effective and productive he is at a minor league level. So I understand them, not wanting to give up on him when they send him down and then he was performing you know, as he was, but it just didn't carry over to, you know, his time here with the Diamondbacks now. Somebody that was pretty good was Luis Frias. He threw 2 scoreless innings of relief pitching. Not that like there was much on the line at that point, no. But I felt like the Dodgers were still trying their best to tack on and add on to the lead just to make sure that there wasn't a crazy comeback by the Diamondbacks late in the game. And I still felt like it was an encouraging outing for him to go out there and throw 2 scoreless against the Dodgers. Yeah.
I mean, it was some positive to take away from that game.
I'm trying, Jesse. I'm trying here. All right. No.
I think he had like, did he walk a couple of guys?
Yeah. He definitely got himself.
He walked 2 and had 1 strikeout, which in 2 innings is a little bit hard for me to be super excited about. But
he didn't fold.
He didn't fold. Right. He didn't give up a run.
There's something to be said about that. Especially,
there is something to be said,
especially against the Dodgers, because he's still a young guy that hasn't had a lot of time at a major league level. So I feel like it's encouraging just to see him be able to kind of get himself into that jam a bit and work himself out without letting a run or without having to be bailed out by another relief pitcher, right?
His stuff, I mean, Luis Frias still has some of the best stuff.
So
like, some of the best stuff in the organization. So it's still, I mean, in some ways, it's like, how does this guy have an ERA over 10? You know, when he's throwing this hard and he has this sweeping slider and everything. But I guess it's more so the curveball for him. But yeah, he just hasn't really put it together yet. Yep. And it's crazy how once you get to the big league level, right, like there's a fine line between, you know, having an ERA of 10 and just sort of, you know, not really being competitive out there a lot of the time and being really effective. And Luis Frias is one of those guys where it might just be a matter of 1 or 2 little adjustments that could kind of put him over the top and get him to a place where he is a really effective relief pitcher. And that's what they need him to be next year. Right. Like they need young guys to take this next step and become, you know, reliable forces in the bullpen next season. I don't know if the Diamondbacks are about to, you know, attack free agency again and bring in, you know, another couple of 37 or 38-year-olds for the back end of the bullpen. I think they've gone to this well a few too many times. And they're probably going to start looking to their younger guys to have some of those bigger roles in the bullpen next year if they can prove that they're ready for it.
I think the idea there is that Frias' stuff kind of can be overpowering to minor league guys that you know might swing at a lot of power, you know, because it's coming in. They don't really know what to do with it, right?
They've never seen like a 97-mile-an-hour fastball with good life like he has.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think it might be easier at a minor league level, but right now what we're seeing is him working with Brent Strom and being effective at a major league level. And again, 2 walks, you know, the hit, it's not great. I'm not trying to go out and say like I was blown away by it, but that's why I said it's encouraging, because with this guy's stuff, if he can learn how to just make those small adjustments to, you know, again, get ahead in the count and, you know, not be so wild, you know, maybe sacrifice some of that velocity to be in the strike zone instead of, you know, we've seen him hit ridiculous velocities like over 100 miles an hour before, but he wasn't able to get it anywhere close to the strike zone. So, you know, got a little Rick Vaughn in him, you know, as well as that dog, but he can definitely, I think, be coached. And what better coach to have him with than Brent Strom? I think that's again the benefit to having guys like him, Dre Jameson, Ryan Nelson up here right now, is that they've been coached up. They've worked with some good coaches within the organization, but now, again, they're working with the elite pitching coach and the staff, and that, I think, couldn't be better for a young player's development. Older guys like Mad Bum are still going to listen to him, but they might, you know, again, Mad Bum's adjustments and all the things that they're working with him might be why he's been struggling so much, because he's a bit set in his ways at this point.
It does, from what we've heard, it sounds like Madison has kind of stuck to what he's been doing and kind of tried to find a way to get that to work. I from what we've heard in interviews and whatnot, and granted, you know, they're not going to say everything that's going on behind the scenes, but it doesn't sound like he's, you know, been trying to change a whole bunch of stuff and is trying to learn this new way to pitch. It's really been Madison Bumgarner just being like, hey, I used to be really, really good, you know, with a pretty similar arsenal to what I'm using right now. I'm going to try to find a way to get back to the pitcher that I was before. And unfortunately, it hasn't really worked for him so far.
So maybe the adjustments are what's needed. I don't know. But again, that again is part of the problem with someone like Madison Bumgarner, because it's just that much harder. But young guys, the amount of, or the impact that someone like Strom can have in their career can be priceless. It really can, especially if they can learn this stuff at a young age, implement it, and have it, make them an effective pitcher out there, help this team win ball games. Right now, I don't know what they're going to do with the bullpen. It's one of the questions we get on Mailbag Monday every single day. But if they can start developing some of these guys, even maybe some of their potential starters into strong bullpen arms, the future might be, once again, just like with the outfield and everywhere else, it might be within the organization and the farm system with the younger players.
Has Kevin Ginkel convinced you? Is he is he a guy for next year in your mind?
Who's convinced me he's a guy is Caleb Smith.
Okay.
I think Caleb Smith has really impressed me. And you know what? I'm going to let Caleb Smith be whatever kind of crazy person he wants to be. He can, as long as he doesn't hurt himself anymore, he can punch whatever he wants. Let's get that man, I don't know, some sort of mixed martial arts membership or something so he can put that stuff to good use.
He has been really good.
He's been incredibly good.
We've seen him used in like a multi-inning role recently. There been a couple games where he went like 2 2/3 innings out of the bullpen and really gave the Diamondbacks some length where they needed it. And it's been effective. Like since he came back from that injury, that unfortunate injury, he really has been effective for this team. So yeah, I think it's likely that Caleb Smith is back next year. I think Kevin Ginkel, name I just mentioned, probably back next year, is a guy, who you at least want to see get an opportunity, just given how big his stuff is back there. So they have some bullpen pieces moving into next year. I mean, you'd be lying if you said that like you're excited about Kevin Ginkel, being like your setup man or your closer or something at this point, right? I don't know if he's proven that he's to that level yet, but moving in the right direction, right? They've kind of narrowed down into some guys who might be able to contribute next year.
If you haven't had a chance already to read Jesse's wonderful writing, he will get you amped for the Arizona Fall League like no one else will. Make sure to check out his latest article on gophnx.com. I believe that one's unlocked.
It is unlocked.
It is unlocked, but
I was in a very giving mood when I wrote that one.
Sometimes he's a nice guy, and then sometimes he wants you to tag 20 friends in order to win a giveaway t-shirt. But check out his piece. If you like what you see, stick around. If you haven't gotten yourself a membership at gophnx.com, sign up for an annual membership. You'll get a free t-shirt like this beautiful Seth Cerveza shirt I'm wearing. These guys on the back right here, the one he's wearing, whatever you want over at the phnxlocker.com. Also, if you get yourself a month-to-month membership, you'll get your first month for just 50 cents. Regardless of membership status, you will get access to our members-only discounts over at the PHNX Locker, and of course, our members-only Discord that happens to be the Poppinest. Can I say Poppinest?
I think we can allow that.
Poppinest place for Arizona Diamondbacks fans to be. So, of course, we thank you guys for already signing up for those of you that have. And, of course, those of you that are here with us right now, we appreciate you spending your lunch with us. Make sure you sign up or subscribe to the PHNX Sports YouTube channel. Sign up for notifications. That way you don't miss when any of our shows go live. And if you're listening to us right now in the audio podcasting app, please subscribe. Leave us a 5-star review. Again, also, if you're in YouTube, leave us a thumbs up. We hope you guys like the new digs. We're very happy in our new home here at PHNX Studios. We thank our friends from More Furniture for hooking us up with all of this wonderful, all these wonderful seats, tables, chairs, loungers, the whole entertainment area that I spend most of my time in, kicked back with my feet up, which makes it sound like I live a really difficult life, is all courtesy of More. And you can have that same wonderful life in your house this football season by checking out Moore's Furniture's fall sale over at morefurniture.com. So make sure to do that and get yourself hooked up with all of the football needs. I know Jesse doesn't like it when I talk about football, so I have to quit right now. But we did get some update on probables. Right now, Zach Davies is pitching. I have no idea how good he's doing. He could be doing bad, could be doing good.
Wasn't a great start.
No, it wasn't great. But the Diamondbacks
we're in the third inning as we speak right now. For those of you joining us live, Davies is not pitching particularly well. He's allowed 4 hits and 2 walks, and as we speak, the Dodgers have 2 on and nobody out. So
Corbin Carroll's still his first base, though.
Let's go.
His first big league back.
Our speedy king.
He said on MLB Network yesterday, it was funny that all of the people interviewing him on MLB Network were like, "Why haven't you stolen a base yet? Like, you're the fastest guy in baseball. Why haven't you stolen a base yet?"
In his defense, he did get thrown out.
He did get thrown out once. That's true.
Makes you a bit gun shy.
Yeah, but I mean, he was stealing third, like in a situation where he probably shouldn't have gone in the first place. So I don't know if that's really indicative of his base stealing ability, but yeah, he basically just told them like, "I'll steal it when the time is right." And
when the time is right.
And I guess today is when the time was right.
He's a very patient man. We know that about him.
He is.
We also have Dr. Dre Jameson going in our second game today as part of the doubleheader. And then the rest of the lineup has been filled out for this series. That includes Madison Bumgarner tomorrow, and it's Galentine's Day in the finale with Zach Gallen being in there. But speaking of Galentine's Day, and speaking of the third inning of this game, history is being made today. Jill Guerin is on the call today for the Arizona Diamondbacks for a few innings, which let's be honest.
Right now, as we speak.
It's one of the few times where we'll encourage you to go listen to something else while you're watching our show. But Jill is the Director of Broadcasting and Media Relations for the Visalia Rawhide. And this is actually history because she's the first ever female D-backs broadcaster. So it's incredible. She is really, really good if you've never had a chance to hear her before. And again, it's just something that is long overdue. I have quite a few friends in broadcasting for baseball. Melanie Newman with the Baltimore Orioles is a friend of mine, and I've been so proud of the strides we've made in a short time to have more female broadcasters be a part of this game. To be honest, I mean, I actually know more women that love baseball than I do like guy friends. Like friends in my personal life that love baseball besides this guy and people that work at this station is pretty much rock. My friend Josh moved to Idaho. He loves baseball.
And even rock. He's just there for the baseball cards.
He's just there for the baseball cards.
He doesn't really care about the actual game, right?
He's just there to root for Fernando Tatis Jr. But I mean, a lot. I say it's long overdue, and it's very cool to see for the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, Jill is great. I had Jill on my show a few years back, and just getting to hear her story and everything was really, really, really cool. So, I mean, it's kind of sad, right? Like it's a little 3-inning sneak peek,
that's
right?
What I said, she should be on the whole game.
Yeah,
it's a doubleheader. Let's just get her on the whole game.
It feels like maybe they could have gone a step further here and maybe given her the whole game or something. I know Chris Garagiola and Tom Candiotti are I guess they're with her right now as they broadcast this game. But yeah, she's super talented, and couldn't be more excited to have her in the D-backs broadcast booth as the first ever woman broadcaster. Couldn't really think of a better person to fill that role.
Yeah,
so best of luck to Jill as we speak as she's broadcasting this game.
We definitely want to go back and listen to that for sure. But I'll tell you, I'm sure Torey is a fan of hers, but we also know that Torey is a huge fan of Jason Bateman. After yesterday, Torey Lovullo was quoted as saying, "I'm a huge Ozark fan, big fan of his, so I'm trying to get his attention to figure out how I can ask him to be my friend." Jesse.
I have no idea who Jason Bateman is.
Oh my God!
I'll just go ahead and say that now.
I didn't even think about that as a popular.
How did you not think about that as a possibility?
I'm a fool. It's like I don't even know you. But
Ozark is a TV show?
It's a Netflix show. Yes, okay. It's a Netflix show. But I guess what I will say is, I don't know. Is this unprofessional? Is it unprofessional for a baseball manager to go out there and admit that he is just a big fan of somebody that's at the ballpark? Like a professional who's there, who's working, and he is trying to do his job, but there's just somebody visiting that day that is making him, maybe do something like take pictures that he wouldn't take, or I don't get the point that you're trying to make here, but my point is that, maybe Torey should,
he should be more tactful.
He should be more tactful.
Be more professional.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, like
more calm, cool, and collected.
Me out there quoting about how much I want to meet these people or begging them for a picture or anything like that. It's not like at all I'm going to take this information and like brag about it to my friends or put it on social media or do something ridiculous like make it into my profile. Jacob, I don't like what you're doing here. I was trying to make a point.
For those on the audio side, Jacob's just been putting up pictures of Derek with celebrities like while he was at work.
I feel exposed.
Be more humble, Derek.
Whatever. Look, I'm going to shoot my shot, and I'm glad Torey did too. Torey, I hope you meet Jason Bateman. I hope
when you're in LA,
I hope you guys become friends.
When you're in LA, I feel like there's just you just run into celebrities. There's people everywhere at LA, especially if you fly into the Burbank airport. Sure. Apparently, like the Burbank airport is really big for seeing celebrities. Which, of course, I've flown there multiple times and have seen none. Probably not because there weren't any, but because I just had no idea.
You wouldn't have
who
recognized them. They were sitting next to you on the plane.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I just was completely oblivious.
By the way, Burbank, we shouldn't be giving this information away, but it's a top 10 airport to fly into. Don't ever fly into.
Really?
Oh, it's so
old
it's so
school.
much.
It's so much better than LAX. But yeah,
so much better.
It is like the most old school. Like it feels like you're in a time machine back to the 70s.
You have to pick up your luggage outside. It's wild.
Yeah, it is pretty weird.
But yeah, I do hope that Torey becomes best friends with Jason Bateman. You know what they're not going to do is go to Salad and Go. I know that for a fact. But who would you say you wouldn't even recognize?
Well, they can't. They're in LA.
They're
they don't
in LA.
have them.
Oh God,
it's a local food chain. Derek.
Jason Bateman does have a private jet to fly out here. Who is there anybody that would make you react like this?
Yeah, I mean, so like for me, I mean, they're not going to be like actors, right? I mean, you all know me at this point. I wouldn't know like the most famous actor in the world if he came up and said hi to me.
No actors. It's just going to be like athletes, isn't it?
No, it's going to be like Jeff Passan. Like if I saw Jeff Passan walking around on the field at Chase Field, oh man, I would absolutely take a picture with Jeff Passan.
We are very good friends with Bob Nightingale. Is that not enough for you?
Bob Nightingale's great too, but I mean, Bob Nightingale is there all the time, you know? And Jeff Passan's someone that I've interviewed before. I interviewed Jeff Passan back when he was at Yahoo Sports. I like to think I sort of knew him before he before he made it big time. Even though when he was at Yahoo Sports, like he was sort of their main baseball guy, so he was still pretty big then too. But anyway, I love Jeff Passan. If I saw him, I would probably go a little crazy. The other guy is Joe Davis, the Dodgers broadcaster, who I have to admit I think is one of the best broadcasters in all of sports. And he's also like he's sort of made it big time now as like Fox's main broadcaster for for like the playoffs and the All-Star game and all that stuff.
And these are people you would openly tell other people that you're trying to pursue them to make them your friend.
I mean, yeah, like sort of. Like if I was friends with Joe Davis, I mean that'd be pretty cool.
No, it really, I promise you it wouldn't be. I promise you. There'd be such a small percentage of people you meet that would find that cool.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't care what other people think, Derek.
I know you don't. That's why you fascinate me. Because you really don't. And
who would you
so much. I care about what everybody thinks so much.
Who are you trying to befriend at a baseball game? Might be in the stands somewhere.
Okay, here's where I'll get a little bit snobby is like it's weird ever since I've been covering sports and such, like I don't really I'm not like that big of a fanboy over people anymore. You know, like it's like I used to be a big sport athletes if I saw them. Yeah, okay, fine. Like pro wrestlers, yeah, of course. That's Daniel Bryan, and that's Katie Nolan. Katie Nolan's a wonderful human being. She called me her friend, cool. And that is Rosario Dawson, and our cheeks are touching, Jacob. There is nothing to be ashamed of there. But I will say, like Steve Martin is somebody who I've been watching Only Murders in the Building, and I've really enjoyed that. But I've always loved Steve Martin ever since I was a kid. I mean, watching him from The Arrow in the Head and his bits on Saturday Night Live to like every movie he's ever been in.
Cheaper by the dozen.
There you go. I think of Parenthood, but that just shows my age, of course. I will say that Steve Martin is somebody that like I would have a hard time if he was at the ballpark. Not going down and meeting him. And again, like there's not a lot of people who I would like openly say, screw it. I don't really care about how other people think of this. When else am I going to get a chance to meet Steve Martin?
It's just so different at Chase Field though. Like Steve Martin probably not going to show up at a Diamondbacks game.
Probably not. Realistically, unless
could like maybe show up.
Nephew is a baseball player or something.
Yeah. Unless something like that is happening.
Sure.
I don't know. Like who is the most famous celebrity that you've ever seen at Chase Field? You've spent a lot of time there. You've probably seen like just about everyone that they've had there in the last decade. I don't know. Like, I guess Michael Phelps. I think Michael Phelps has been there because he's a local guy.
I think that would probably be
that's probably
but then
it.
That's not even that big of a deal because of how much time he spends here and going to ASU games and stuff like that. So,
right.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, to me, like Vin Scully is like the most famous person I've ever seen.
That is also, I would also say that if Vin Scully were at Chase Field, that would have been something I would have loved to gotten to talk to him and meet him.
Yeah, it was always a special day when he was around. It really was.
He would talk to you guys, right? Like he would just walk around.
Totally regular. Like he would eat dinner in the
Eat
press
dinner
area
with everyone.
And I mean, people were respectful, but you could tell there was a lot of people that like,
oh my gosh,
yeah, right, and like, they want to go meet him or at least say hi, but they're looking to not go up there when someone else is also up there saying hi to him. So it's like
he just has like a constant line of people.
There's this like weird hovering around him, but he was so gracious and he was so nice to everybody. And I met him twice, and I mean, he was just an incredible person. And like, I would say to me, that was probably it, like at least in my time as a broadcaster, just based on everybody's reaction to him. But again, thank you guys for taking Jesse's side in this whole salad and go debate, because I don't think I'll ever and thank you, Jacob, for throwing those pictures up, you jerk. But I do want to tell you guys about our friends at OG's. By the way, they are launching a brand new edible that has a bunch of Z's on the end, because it is their sleep formula to help you get the best night's sleep. So make sure to check out OG's on their website at ogsbrands.com or on Instagram at ogsbrands to get more information about that. But we have some free stuff for you as well. Enter the Flavoring Life sweepstakes over at gophnx.com, and one lucky winner will win yourself 3 bags of OG's gummies, including my favorite orange creamsicle, an OG's hat, a PHNX shirt of your choice, and a PHNX annual membership. No, Open Shirt Derek does not come with the price. Sign up at gophnx.com or click the link in our show notes. And again, make sure to check out our friends OG's online. Check out that new, I know a lot of people use edibles for getting a good night's rest. And it's a very particular formula that's going to give you the best night's rest you've possibly ever had. So make sure to check that out. We're very excited about them releasing that. We're also very excited about ASU firing Herm Edwards. Now we are going to celebrate. Come out to Four Peaks Tailgate this Saturday to will this team on. They need a win more than ever. $50 gets you access to an all-you-can-eat buffet, 2 Four Peaks beers, and a free ride to the stadium. Plus, our PHNX Sun Devils guys will be there playing cornhole, Jenga, and Connect 4. I'm going to tell you right now, do not challenge Sean DePaz in any games. And I'm not trying to give him credit. He's a frustrating person to play in sporting events. He's a bragger. He's a bad winner. And he probably will beat you.
What have you played Sean DePaz?
I went to him. He ruined a trip to Dave & Buster's for me. Just absolutely ruined it. I came in second all day long.
That figures.
So that's just a heads up. That's a pro tip. But do come down and challenge Shane, because he's always a little beatable. But check the link in our show notes to sign up. Must be 21 years or older to enjoy, and enjoy responsibly. And also, same thing with our friends at OG's. Make sure to be 21 years or older to purchase those as well. And make sure you enjoy all of that stuff, all of it. But yesterday we talked about the Reno Aces clinching their division. And honestly, it's been kind of a fascinating team this year, especially considering the way that these players have moved on from the Aces, come up to the Arizona Diamondbacks, and have become honestly so effective that there hasn't been a lot of guys being sent back down to replenish the Aces lineup. But compared to opening day, they've actually had quite the turnover. So it's been impressive that this team has continued to win with this ever-changing lineup that they've had.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even really imagine what it's like to be like a manager of a AAA baseball team, because your roster is just changing all the time, right? And you're constantly like, the major league team will call up somebody and use them and then send them back to you, and they're like super gassed and they don't have anything left in the tank anymore. And then also, like, it's a good thing when your players get called up, right? Like,
that's what you want, essentially.
It is ideal when players leave your baseball team, which must make it a real headache to like put together a lineup card every day. But yeah, I mean, if you think back to where the Aces started out this year, I mean, Ryan Nelson was their opening day starter. Of course, he's with the big league club now. Alec Thomas was with AAA to start the season. Stone Garrett was with AAA for the vast majority of the year before getting called up last month. So yeah, it's just been a lot of guys that were big contributors for them early on are now contributing on the Diamondbacks. And we were joking about it the other day about how it was basically like the Reno Aces who single-handedly beat the San Diego Padres in one day. Like, it was all I think it was Ryan Nelson, throwing 7 scoreless innings in that game. And then Stone Garrett and Alec Thomas, I think, did most of the damage offensively. So you've seen how good some of those guys who started the year in AAA have been so far at the big league level.
And not only that, but like, again, for the success that we've seen from these guys come up and contribute to this team, it's exciting to see the next wave playing for this Reno Aces team. A lot of the guys right now, I mean, there's several guys that were actually slated to be called up this season that haven't been yet. And to be honest, I don't even know where some of those guys are going to play, right?
Yeah, like the
Dominics. Yeah, the Dominics. And yeah, there's several guys that it's kind of a little bit of a head scratcher as to where they're going to fit in. And obviously that's where the offseason moves we could see some of the younger guys, hopefully not any of the core that we've kind of grown to love. Some of the younger guys maybe moved for relief pitching help or at least pitching prospects that the Diamondbacks still seem to be a bit short on. But Brandon Pfaadt has become the Aces ace, and I know that he's a guy that a lot of people are excited about. I know he's a guy a lot of people want to see up here, but will probably stay down in the minor leagues for the remainder of the season.
Yeah,
and is a good call-up candidate next year. So it's gonna be exciting to see this team continue to evolve, even if the rest of this season doesn't end up being very exciting. You know, we got way too many games against the Dodgers still left for me to be excited about anything. But remember, we don't have much season left, so make sure to not only keep an eye on what the Reno Aces are doing, but come on out this weekend to the Arizona Diamondbacks game. We're going to be doing a special meetup through our friends at Game Time for this Friday's game. So keep an eye on that. Right now, you can get tickets for $14, we found out over at Game Time. So if you haven't had a chance to check out the Game Time app, make sure to do so. It's the hottest new ticketing site that makes it easier than ever to score the best deals on tickets to sports, concerts, and shows. You save up to 60% on tickets when you buy tickets last minute. It's great for all of us procrastinators out there. And let's all get together this Friday and have a D-backs PHNX meetup. Me and Jesse will be out there. I will drag this guy out of the press box and make him sit with us.
I'm going to drag you to the game.
That too. I mean, I've lost a little steam here at the end of the season, but if you love PHNX, you'll love Game Time, and we'll definitely get some more information out to you guys about that meetup event. But come watch baseball with us. It's the last series of the year here against the Giants at Chase Field. So the best way to support us is by buying your tickets through the link in the description. Make sure to do so. And again, if you have any questions, make sure to hit up Jesse or I on Twitter, hit up our account, and we would absolutely love to answer any questions you have about the Game Time app. But more importantly, the whole reason I'm excited to be here today isn't to talk about salad and go with this guy, or isn't to talk about RAV4 interiors. It's to talk about the fact that I won $1,000 last night. I won 1,000 American dollars last night on our favorite app, the Underdog Fantasy app. Let me tell you, it was as easy as picking 5 over-unders on pitch counts. That's all I needed to do. No game results.
That's wild to
know
me.
If anybody's going to hit. Like, here's the thing. You look on there and you understand why, right? You got to do your research. I was looking into some of the pitchers, why their pitch counts were so low. Some of them haven't surpassed 75 pitches for the entire season, for instance. So, you know, when they set it at 78, they're saying like, oh, is this guy going to go for his longest outing of the year against what could be a pretty good offense? These are the things. Like, you go to Las Vegas, those are games of chance, folks. When you go to the Underdog Fantasy app, this is where you use your brain and your experience as a baseball fan to win you some money. And what better way to do it? Like, the best hitter can go 0-for in a night, right? We all know that. But I think you all have a good gauge on pitch counts. And it's just one of the things you can bet higher or lower on the Underdog Fantasy app. You go in there and pick between 2 and 5 players, and the more legs you add, the more money you win. The more pick'ems you add, the more entries that you get on there. If you get all your picks right, you can win up to 20 times your money like I did. It was a $50 bet. I won. Did you hear me? I won $1,000. I'm going to keep saying it because I keep texting.
It's wild.
I keep sending it to my brother and stuff just to really rub it in. But you can search in the App Store, click in our link below to download the Underdog Fantasy app, or sign up using that beautiful.
It's a beautiful QR code.
That beautiful QR code right there. So make sure to do that. Use our promo code of PHNX, and Underdog will double your first deposit up to $100. They did it instantly for me. I was on the ropes. I lost some pick'ems. I wasn't doing good, Jesse. I was down to my last $50, and there I was staring down Merrill Kelly and Clayton Kershaw as the two last pitchers I needed to hit their particular amounts. Clayton Kershaw's pitch count was 84.5 or 85.5, and I believe Merrill Kelly's was 94.5. Merrill Kelly was close. He was close. But luckily, I'm $1,000 richer thanks to the Underdog Fantasy.
What are you going to do with your winnings, Derek?
I don't know.
Decided?
I think I'm gonna. I was thinking about taking my daughter to the Hollywood Bowl because her favorite movie is Encanto.
Wow. Okay.
And they are having the cast from Encanto sing the songs from the movie with like an orchestra and a chorus. And I've done this for Danny Elfman for Nightmare Before Christmas, and it's one of the most enjoyable shows I've ever gone to. It was during Halloween.
Be super cool.
Yeah, so I might do that. I might splurge and spoil my daughter because, of course,
there you go.
You know, there's no we don't have a lot of time left, folks. Remember what I said. All the time, Southwest Bias. We're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time. So make sure you enjoy yourselves, and these apps can help you win a little money and help you enjoy yourself even more. And the apps are fun. I had a blast last night watching pitch counts. You have no idea the agony I was in when I was watching Corbin Burns on the mound pitching 100 pitches, and I had him at 100.5, the under. And then I see that beautiful phrase come up in MLB.com. Mound visit. And I was like, let's go. Anyway, you can have that kind of fun over at Underdog Fantasy. But that's all I got. We thank you guys so much for being here today.
Can I get one more thing in?
No.
Can I get one more thing in real quick?
I don't want
so I'm looking at no, it's not. I could though.
Right.
I absolutely could. But no, I'm looking at the Aces opening day roster, like we were the opening day like lineup and the box score for that game. And I can't help but notice that Kyle Nelson threw a scoreless inning for the Reno Aces on opening day because I'd forgotten Kyle Nelson lost out in spring training on a job to the one and only Oliver Perez, who was DFA'd like a week or two into the season because things were not going well for him. But anyway, it's crazy how things can change, right? I mean, Kyle Nelson opened the year in the minor leagues. And although he struggled with injuries down the stretch, he's been one of the team's most reliable relievers throughout most of the season. Whereas Oliver Perez, unfortunately, at the ripe old age of 40, was trying to make things work here for another big league season. That didn't quite work out. And Kyle Nelson wound up having a really, really good season for the D-backs.
Well, we thank you guys again so much for joining us. In the meantime, you can check us out on Twitter. I'm at Cap_Caveman with a K. This guy is at Jesse N. Friedman.
You won't stop yelling at people about the salad and go
Derek?
thing.
I did not do a DraftKings read. I did not have a DraftKings read in today's read.
Look at that. Look at that.
So you know what? I know what I'm doing, Jacob.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing. Get on him. He's at Jacob Franklin 4.
Yeah, you can do that. I'm not at that, but you can do that.
Oh, no. Okay. So
I think
he does want.
isn't it? There's an underscore in there.
Underscore. Yeah, there is an underscore in there.
Underscore.
Jacob Franklin _4. I don't know.
Jacob underscore
Find
Franklin
him, though,
4.
and shame him for trying to correct me on the show. But
there you go.
We thank you guys again so much for joining us. On behalf of Jesse, Faj, and myself, we appreciate your time. And as always, remember, kids, baseball is fun, but it's so much more fun when you win $1,000 guessing pitch counts. Woo!